I couldn't wait to get into this next subject. I absolutely positively couldn't wait, ladies and gentlemen. It was necessary, and I couldn't wait to get into it. I've been waiting all day to touch on this because last night, Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, sat down for her first interview since entering the race 5 weeks ago, alongside VP nominee, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Both were interviewed by CNN's Dana Bash. When asked what she would do on day one as president, Harris said she would look for ways to, quote, strengthen the middle class, end quote, and try to bring down housing prices nationwide. Harris also plans to extend a $6,000 child tax credit to families in the first year of a child's life. Former President Trump's campaign is mocking Vice President Harris for bringing Walz to her first interview since launching her bid for the White House. However, Trump's first interview, just to get this out of the way, you remember his first interview after the Republican National Convention was a joint interview alongside his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, with Fox News' Jesse Waters. And if you look back over the last decade, presidential candidates have sat for interviews with their running mates, including John McCain with Sarah Palin in 2008. Barack Obama did the same with Joe Biden that same year as well. Hillary Rodham Clinton and Tim Kaine did a joint interview in 2016. And finally, Donald Trump and Mike Pence also sat down together in 2016. That was a quote that a lot of people were making. And I understand that quote. It certainly came from members of my team because I want to put you up. Listen, I've got some family members. I've got people that I'm close to. I've got a staff that I trust tremendously so. And they express themselves all the time. See, I want the expressions. I don't want a bunch of yes people around me. Okay. I mean, you may not know him. This dude, Rashawn. Let me tell you something right now. I got a dude named Rashawn that works for me. That man don't listen to anything I say until he has to. I mean, he wakes me up at 7 a.m. to get on my last damn nerves, okay, about his opinions, okay? He ain't no yes man. I mean, I got Sherry. You would think. I mean, listen. I'm a marvelous boss. I'm told. I'm a boss, right? You wouldn't know. I mean, Sherry, like, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking. And somebody else who's going to remain nameless took the time out of her busy schedule. She's married, got dogs in the house and all of this other stuff, happily married person, very, very busy, preoccupied with her life and a multitude of jobs and responsibilities and all of this other stuff. But oh no, this person took the time to sit down and write a damn dissertation to me about how wrong she thought my opinion was after watching me on Cuomo Nation with Chris Cuomo on Thursday night. She took the time to write a note to me. Let's put that note up because I want the public to see. I ain't going to let you know who it is because I love her to death. You understand that she's entitled to her opinions. But damn it, I want y'all to see the kind of stuff that I got to deal with right here, okay? Now, damn it, that's not enough on the screen. Some of it is cut out. So I need to be able to read this post that she sent to me. Respectfully, I respectfully disagree. There have been at least 4 presidents to date who have sat for an interview with their presumptive vice presidential nominee, and that includes Trump, Pence. The vice president's selection matters right now is taking up space in Trump's head, causing him to show out and all of this other stuff. This is what she said. This is what she said. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want, and I say this albeit rhetorically, to members of my staff, to Democrats and liberals I know everywhere, to black women who are supporting Kamala Harris, to graphic folks working for me like Shagun sitting there looking like Patrick Beverly, talking to me and swearing up and down on my Lord. Kamala. I ask one simple question. Do y'all want to hug and sing kumbaya to one another, or do you want to win the damn election? Because you want to look at me, Rashawn, when I'm talking to you. If you want to win the election, listen to me, America. Listen to me. All of that rhetoric y'all talking don't mean a damn thing, including the text that I just read to you on the air. Sit up, Sherry, when I'm talking to you, please. I got stuff on my mind. Honor free, I can't read that. You're right like a kindergarten person. Come on, man. I can't see that. Here's the deal. Listen to me, y'all. Listen good. We're trying to win an election. And I don't say we like I'm some liberal because I'm a registered independent. I say we, people who don't want Trump to win. You bring up all of those presidents and all of their sit downs with vice presidents. Did any of them avoid a primary? Was any of them vice president when the president, the incumbent, literally had the path paved for him and everybody was moved out of the way so he couldn't be exposed for being cognitively declining? Did that happen with Barack Obama and Joe Biden? Did that happen with Trump and Pence? Did that happen with Hillary and Tim Kaine? Did that happen with Clinton and Gore? Did that happen with H.W.? I mean, think about it for a second here. And Mr. Dan Quayle himself, I had brain lock for a second. Pay attention. None of these people avoided a primary. None of these people were people that you didn't see debating candidates for their own party, where the people selected them. That did not happen with Kamala Harris. That did not happen before June 27th when Joe Biden showed up in a debate. And as Anthony Scaramucci, showing up on News Nation, being interviewed by Chris Cuomo, pointed out, and I quote, during the debate, President Joe Biden looked like a dude standing in a nursing home waiting for a nurse to feed him applesauce. That is a quote. That is a quote. And if Joe Biden looked that way in June 27th, what was he a month earlier? Or a month before that? Or a month before that? When those debates could have taken place. It was nowhere. We didn't see it because the Democrats greased the skids. So he didn't have to face competition. These are facts. These are facts. So if that is the backdrop, and you have somebody like Trump who's very, very short on substance when he's articulating his message and defers to insults and one-liners and doing all of these kind of things, I believe you're playing right into his hands. You can't see that? You, Kamala Harris, you're the vice president of the United States. You are a former senator, a former state attorney general in the second largest state in the region, in the republic. You're a former prosecutor. This man has been indicted. He's been convicted on 34 felony counts. He's been impeached twice. He's lost civil cases. And oh, by the way, he gets grilled at the National Association for Black Journalists, and his immediate response is, it's a very horrible question, the worst question that could have ever been asked. You didn't even say hello. How are you? This is what he does. He goes up against Marco Rubio. He called him Little Marco. He said Jeb Bush, low energy. Carla Fiorini, she's a 4. Teasing Chris Christie about his weight. Called Ron DeSantis, Ron DeSanctimonious. The man comes up with one-liners that are catchy, and as a result, people gravitate to that. They pay very little attention to whatever substance he may have or is lacking, and he wins anyway. And he doesn't even do it by winning the popular vote. He lost the popular vote in 2016. He lost it again in 2020. You, Kamala Harris, what the hell are you doing? I'm not saying what are you doing as in right now. The strategy thus far is fine. I'm talking about moving forward. And when you know the world is transfixed on you as the potential next president of the United States, and we're looking to see what you do, you show up with Tim Walz by your side? Really? Really? You know we were looking for you. You know we wanted to hear from you. No disrespect to him whatsoever. But ain't nobody, how many times you gonna hear that he's a school teacher and a former coach? That he gets you? How many times? We know this already. We got it. You want to talk to us about the state of affairs in Minnesota? You want to talk to us about it being one of the highest tax states in the republic? You want to talk to us about whatever crime is going on there? What your positions were during the riots, et cetera, et cetera? I'm down with you. I got it. But there's millions of people who disagree. If you want to go that route, no. Nobody cared. You know why? They want to hear from her. And why do they want to hear from her? Because when she was the vice president, you never heard from her. And she was getting blamed for stuff that she may not have deserved to get blamed for. Well, what is it? We're blaming you for flip-flopping on fracking. Is it true? Are you? Healthcare. Has your position flip-flopped on that? Or is it the same? They're talking about, you got surrogates out there talking about, now you willing to support building a wall after you spoke against it. You know, is that true? Is it? These are legitimate questions is all I'm saying. I'm not castigating her. I'm not casting convictions upon her or anything like that. I'm saying we want to hear from her. I don't give a damn about hearing from Tim Walz right now. He's the vice president nominee. We got it. We understand. We ain't trying to hear from him, no. We want to hear from her. Because we've been waiting to hear from you for 4 years. We want to see where you stand and why. And oh, by the way, as Teflon done as Donald Trump may be, that's with his constituents. It's not with registered independents. That's who you're trying to win over. Where you at? Ladies and gentlemen, she ain't going up against Mitt Romney, who knows his stuff. Say what you want about Ron DeSantis. He knows his stuff. She ain't going up against Nikki Haley. Whatever your positions may be, with the border wall, with inflation, with crime in Democratic cities, although there's crime in Republican-led cities too, the point is, that ain't even it. The issue is, you did this in your first press conference, Kamala Harris. You sat up there and said, believe me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. You talked about dealing with criminals, fraudsters, and, con artists. And then you said, believe me when I say, ladies and gentlemen, I know Donald Trump's type. Well, if you know his type and you're accustomed to dealing with him, why is he the one doing a bunch of interviews? Again, the strategy was fine. I'm not complaining about the strategy you employed up to this point. I'm saying be clear. That ain't going to win you the presidency. And for your first interview, and by the way, you know the code that he's using. Nod your head, Rashawn. Nod your head, Honor Free, especially you, Honor Free. Oh, especially you. All right, and you too, Bailey. All of yous. Nod your head. Is Trump, yes or no, is Trump not using codes when he points out that she's hiding? He's leaning on gender. I'm a man. I'm strong. Look at the war in Russia and in Ukraine with Russia. Look at what's going on with Israel and Palestine in the Gaza Strip and beyond. Look at the kind of troubles that we're experiencing, whether it's North Korea, it's China, or whatever. Iran, Iraq. I mean, come on, y'all. Look at all of this. You think she's strong enough? She can't even show up to do a hard interview. I show up all the time. This is what he's doing. We all know what that is. You feeding into machismo. You trying to say commander-in-chief. He didn't do that to Hillary. He said a lot of things about Hillary, like crooked Hillary and stuff like that. He ain't never implied she was scared. He ain't never implied she was running. Because Hillary Clinton was smart as a whip and know her stuff. We all know. The most qualified woman to ever run for president in this country's history. Without question. Ain't that supposed to be Kamala? HBCU grad. Prosecutor. State attorney general. senator, reigning vice president of the United States of America. Kamala Harris has all the credentials in the world to stand tall, stand straight up, and be like, yo, this is the way it's going to be. Let's get it on. And as a prosecutor and as an attorney, as somebody who knows the law, as somebody who knows a criminal when she sees them, as somebody who knows a con artist when she sees them, and all of these other things that she said about him, why is this dude the one we see? Because the Democrats are telling her, well, you know what? Something ain't broke. Don't fix it. We gain this momentum. We gain this momentum. We gain this momentum. They are right about that. And I'm not disagreeing with anybody on my team who feels otherwise. Here's my point. It doesn't matter if the regular process had been followed. But because they avoided the primaries, because they were accused of greasing the skids to disguise and hide Joe Biden from the rest of us in terms of the decline that was clearly taking place, she is now the Democratic nominee without having had to have a debate, without having to experience a primary, without having to campaign. It was handed to her in the eyes of the opposition. That is what they're going to say about her. Say what you will about Trump. He's supposed to be a criminal, right? He's supposed to be in jail, right? He's supposed to owe nearly $500 million, right? The bottom line is he's been the Republican nominee since 2016. And he's been through a myriad of debates. And on top of all of that, he got all of this law, these legal issues descending down upon him. And the people have spoken. The Republicans said they want him. All of them. Nobody said that about Kamala Harris until July 21st. So you don't get to just skate to the election and have a debate September 10th on ABC, and you know what? We may barely see you. Nah. Why also, ladies and gentlemen, Biden wasn't doing a bunch of interviews prior to the debate on June 27th, and then what happened thereafter with July and him stepping aside. So we have a White House that hasn't been active participants in communicating with the fourth estate, spanning months. Why are you running this country? Nah. I want you, Kamala Harris, to go out there and whip you know what of Donald Trump. That's what I want. Because it shouldn't be that hard. Who's going to vote for him is going to vote for him. Just like the left is going to vote for you. But us independents, yo, you can't take him. That's like Tommy Hearns or Mike Tyson getting into the ring with somebody with a glass jaw. You should be able to take them. We know they could fight too, but once they get clipped by somebody the likes of you, they supposed to fall. You prosecutor. You should be able to handle this because of him. Say Nikki Haley or somebody you're going against. This is him. Shouldn't be hard. That was my point. That is my point. And that's going to be my point until we see her campaigning the way presidential candidates normally campaign. She's got my vote because I can't vote for him. But I don't want to vote for her just because I don't want to vote for him. I want to vote for her because she shows me she's the one. And anything that she hasn't shown, I'm not even blaming her. I'm saying the party has paved the way and greased the skids. We can't let that continue to happen. You got to show up and earn it. I'm a sports guy. I remember in 1991, if I remember correctly, Mike Tyson was scheduled to fight Michael Spinks for the heavyweight championship of the world. And Mike Tyson was furious because there was a delay in Michael Spinks coming out to the ring, so much so that he reportedly punched a hole in the wall. He was that damn furious. Mike Tyson had no idea that what held up Michael Spinks wasn't some gimmick or anything. Michael Spinks was in his locker room crying, according to numerous reports. Crying because he had to go out there and fight Mike Tyson. And the promoter, Butch Lewis, that was in the locker room with him, do you know what Butch Lewis was doing? Crying with him. Crying with him. But still hugging him while crying and saying, you got to go out, champ. You got to go out there. You got to fight. Because they had $13 million to get. That's a true story, according to everybody that I spoke to. And all I'm saying to y'all is, when you want something, when you want the crown, you got to go out there and fight. Because Trump is calling her out. Now, we all know that's tactical maneuvering on their part and all that stuff. I'm saying it don't matter. You Kamala Harris, honeymoon's over. Go out there and handle your business and win this election. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.